Hey, welcome to the segment. We just saw Fear the Walking Dead, Season 1, Episode 4. And we are dressed up today. We're in character because today we have a special guest. And I'm going to take this off before I say that. We have a special guest with us, a medical professional, an actual doctor that's going to talk about some medical things. And it's Dr. Hillock here.
All right. Well, thank you.
Everybody. Now, when we were picking out a doctor to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, I wanted to pick out the type of doctor that I have the most fear about. No offense, not that you yourself are scary, but Dr. Hillock's a dentist, which I think is one of the scariest doctors that, you know, when you go to the dentist, you have a lot of fear. So I thought, let's bring him on.
Well, thanks, Mick.
Yeah.
But you're a good doctor.
You're a
I'll
good
make
doctor.
sure I give you an extra shot next time I see you.
It's scary, it's scary. But this is new for you. You've never seen Fear the Walking Dead or The Walking Dead.
No, I've never seen it.
And I thought it was interesting because this was the first episode he's ever seen.
Yep.
And this episode didn't have any zombies in it.
I agree. Isn't that
Wasn't
bizarre?
that funny? But and we're going to get to the discussion right now, except one more thing. We got all these costumes from one of our new sponsors, which is the Halloween Guys. And their store is located in Modesto, California. And each one of these costumes that we're wearing, I'm wearing Dr. Shots. He's wearing Dr. F. Stein,
There you are.
Dr. Frankenstein.
I've got some disposable scrubs
And
on.
he's got the scrubs. And all these costumes are available. I like yours especially.
Yes,
I think you
yes.
look seriously legit in
I
that.
do.
You look serious.
With my gloves.
Yeah. So, first of all, let's start with Kivan. What did you think of the episode as a whole?
Well, you know, it is interesting that you mentioned that there's absolutely no zombies in this one. And so I wasn't quite sure, you know, if there was enough action. But having said that, I mean, it really did help with the frustration of the military taking over. And, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I think tonight was more almost frustrating, but I was enjoying it. You know, I was kind of irritated. And that's a good thing because that means the acting's bringing you there. So I have to say that, yeah, I thought it was good. Cinematography-wise, it was very, very good. There was a lot of interesting things tonight, and I did enjoy it. But I would have liked to have seen a bit more zombie stuff,
Maybe just a couple thrown in. Now,
Yeah.
Dr. Hillock, as your first exposure to the Walking Dead franchise, what'd you think?
I liked it. I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it was plausible that something like this could happen.
Yeah, and obviously not the zombies itself, but I bet you're talking plausible in terms of how the government was acting.
Right, martial law and quarantine everybody, and yeah, I think it's possible.
Yeah, now tell me, so you're basically saying, you know, kind of had that tinge of reality and stuff. As a medical professional, did you learn about, like, containment or something, some of the protocols that might come into effect in a viral outbreak?
Well, we have the protocols of isolating people and the people that have exposed blood or more susceptible, and the compromised people, and you want to get rid of those people from the general population.
Interesting.
So,
Get rid of. Yeah.
Yes.
I think there was some of that going on in this episode.
Definitely.
You know, even though there wasn't any zombies at all, really, and nobody really necessarily died that we really saw on screen. I mean, there was at the very, very end, you know, Mr. Morse Code got killed. I did still think that it was a good episode. I did like that they kind of slowed the series down a little bit and took time to kind of build some tension.
Well, we kind of talked about that last week. We said that, you know, we thought it would slow down, and we were right. I think we're right in this, aren't we? And then, you know, the fact that we would go to a camp and then perhaps schools and teaching and stuff like that. So I think we got that pretty much right, and I think that was the right... We know it's already written, we're just kidding. But the reality is I think that's how it would have gone in real life. It would have, you know, compounds and things like that. Now, are we thinking that that's a rogue...
Yeah, I was thinking. I was telling them in the little pre-interview, and while the show was going on, as the show progressed, I was thinking, I bet we're going to find out that this army attachment probably has no communication at all with higher ups. I think that's my theory, and that these guys are acting rogue. They're acting on their own. Maybe they have some protocols that were set in place beforehand.
Well, and you mentioned about protocol, which I thought was interesting, and I think maybe they're following, you know, the National Disaster Plan for zombies.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe that was predetermined, because obviously after 3 days they were already losing the power grid and communications. We're into day 9 then. So maybe they're not getting any information from the actual government, and so maybe they're predetermined what they're supposed to do. However, these guys might be, you know, like you said, a National Guard unit who are maybe acting...
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, almost every city in America has National Guard attachments and National Guard bases.
And they're deployed for national emergencies.
And
this would be a perfect spot to do it.
Exactly.
They deployed, they don't have any communication with the rest of the world, and they're doing what they think is best.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, but I can definitely see there's definitely ideas going forward as the episode moves forward that these guys, I think, are getting obviously out of line. I can't imagine that there's any protocol to where... basically, I think it's presumed at this point that they're just killing any survivor that they see.
Sure, look like
that
it,
they find outside of that fence.
Sure, look like it. And you know, fraternizing with the girl, and so there's always a breakdown there. So
yes, and what about the fact that if there was a catastrophe or a plague like this that just devastated the whole world, the people inside that community are thinking, why should they be in charge? Are they smarter than us, or do they just got guns? Maybe we should take over and get together and make a democracy and decide what's better, because they're certainly not smarter than us.
Now, as we before we move forward with the rest of the show, I want to ask you a few questions about viruses and about this spread, because you did mention if there was some kind of plague or something like this. Is there viruses or diseases that can affect the whole world in this kind of way?
Well, I think there is, because history has shown us that every 100 years there's a plague that affects almost everybody.
Wow.
You know, and so I think that's true. Also, I think it's true that if we have any exposed cuts, you know, we don't really want to go to work, because not only are we going to contaminate our patients, but we also can be contaminated by them. So the bloodborne pathogen law states that, you know, you don't want to have any open wounds, because you're going to be highly contagious. Now,
something that is in almost all zombie movies, the virus is transferred by biting a lot of times, and in The Walking Dead, if you're bit, you die and you turn into a zombie. Can you transfer diseases through bites?
Well, you have to break the blood. So, say for example, if you bit into the blood, you would have it. But if you just went like this, maybe not. You know, but it's possible. It's possible, because we know the viruses today, that mostly the bloodborne pathogens, you have to have some kind of blood contact.
Okay, blood contact.
So that's what the bloodborne pathogen law says.
And so typically, how long would it take something, you know?
It would take 48 hours. But it might be airborne too, which means that it would even spread faster. So I would say that a case like this that would devastate this many people obviously would have to be airborne. Oh yes.
So everybody's contaminated.
So everybody would be contaminated, and then it would also have to be able to stay viable for a long period of time, and you know, be able to withstand temperatures and all sorts of things like this. It would be a virus that we've never seen before.
He doesn't even know this.
And you know why it's happening? It's because of all the drugs and the medications. So what is happening is bugs are getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and they're making a super bug that our drugs won't stop.
Woo! Yes.
He mentioned,
and we've always talked about that, is that we said, you know what, don't give the antibiotics anymore, take a mouthwash instead, because we are developing superbugs. Even the staphylococci develops MRSA in the hospital, which they can't get rid of. So that's just a simple staphylococci, which is in everybody's mouth, but it's mutated just a teeny bit.
Wow.
And now they can't get rid of it.
So hypothetically, in let's say 20 or 30 years, hypothetically, could there be a plague-type virus that
it doesn't take 20 or 30 years. A mutation happens like this. It doesn't go like this. A mutation happens like this. You go, oh my God, look at my child. It's here. Oh. That's how a mutation happens.
Wow.
It doesn't happen 20 or 30 years. It's there.
Okay, now I'm terrified. I'm terrified.
But one thing that, back to the show, that this is good stuff.
Put my gloves on.
Dr. Hillock mentioned that
if it's airborne, it won't make a difference, Kevin.
He mentioned that the disease would be airborne or something. One thing that you didn't even know is that everybody in the Walking Dead universe is infected. Even the people that don't seem to be, when they die on their own, they come back as a zombie too. So it probably is airborne.
I'm sure.
And then that extra bite adds that extra, whatever.
But if you
boost.
see the army people, they're in their hazmat suits.
Okay, so they're trying to...
And they are not into the environment, into the air, so they're safe.
Yeah.
So obviously, it is airborne.
Okay.
It has to be.
Well, it's also got to be an ecosystem, so everything you're growing or the water, it's probably in there as well, right? Perhaps
if it's in the air.
So there you
go. It's everywhere.
I love that. It's everywhere.
But we haven't found out is if it's affected any animals.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Good point.
I was going to ask that too because the Walking Dead universe I don't think is too clear on animals. I don't know if I've seen animals affected, and they don't seem to be worried. In the original series, they're out there hunting and they'll shoot a deer and eat it.
I think it is though because I haven't seen any animals, and I think you see some.
There should be a heck of a lot of dogs running around LA at this point, don't you think? That if everybody was killed, like the dogs and the cats.
Well, we got dogs, cats, all sorts of things. So that would be interesting to see because usually viruses and those type of things don't. Cross over into the animal or the plant kingdom. Obviously not the plant, but the animal kingdom maybe.
Now,
that would be unrealistic.
But if they, sometimes when there's a virus though that transfers from animals to humans, aren't those usually pretty terrifying viruses, like the bird flu or the swine flu or?
Yes, they are.
Those are the bad
mutate,
ones.
and so because the body doesn't know how to handle them. But I think the drugs that we're taking are going to create a virus that is going to be a super bug that we're not going to be able to stop.
Ooh.
That's amazing. So like plague round 2. Well, not even the plague, but there was the flu outbreak in the early 1900s that killed millions as well. So it could even be a flu virus.
Plus we have GMOs, so we have genetically modified plants and everything that are changing the genes around, and we're changing the structure of our bodies and the genes and the food. We're going to naturally, and the drugs, we're getting different kinds of bugs now.
Wow.
And so we're going to have a plague, just like we're going to have an earthquake.
That's amazing.
Right
Things are going to happen.
We're going to have a plague.
That's amazing.
Where will you be?
One more follow-up question. I know, Keevan, you don't want to get too serious, but I am wondering.
I'm terrified.
I know, he's getting scared. He's getting scared.
No.
But that's okay. People watching this, you like to be scared.
Yes.
What's the most dangerous kind of disease? Is it a virus? Is it bacteria? Is it, what's the difference? What kind of disease are there? Would it be a virus? Would the plague be a virus? Or would it be a...
Well, the viruses we don't really have antibodies to.
Okay.
See, so we have antifungal and antibacterials, but the MERS is a bacterial, and we haven't had a hard time getting rid of that. So it could be anything, but more likely it would be a virus. Okay. Because it's smaller, it's hard for us to detect, and we don't really have vaccine for viruses. So if we could find something where we could kill it off quick, like a bacteria or fungus, we would have it. Viruses, we don't. You know, if you get the cold, what do they tell you? Drink fluids, go to bed. You can't, we don't have anything.
Find it on your own.
So we can't take care of viruses.
So hypothetically, in this show,
virus.
It's a virus. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. But you know what's so cool is this is our dentist, and he knows more than the CDC, I think. This guy's knowledgeable. I love this guy.
Yeah, definitely a lot of knowledge there.
Oh hell, I'm scared now.
And let's talk more about the show itself. What did you think about the character development in the show and stuff? Are you liking what you're seeing?
Yeah, we talked about the frustration a little bit, but I think Madison's complete and utter nutcase. I love her. She's cutting the wires, going out.
I thought that was a little...
It's strange behavior, but I like her because she's kind of a bit more...
Yeah, it had to happen to progress the show, but I thought it was a little bit...
Well, she's kind of doing a Rick, or, she's kind of getting a little bit stranger, got the hammer, going to kill Susan, and now she's outside the fence. So she's acting very... And now she's blaming the first wife, for the whole situation.
She's questioning authority of the military.
She's
and
really
we've questioned the authority of the military for many years because we always wonder, what are they doing over in the foreign countries? The foreign countries all hate us. It's all secret. And they're doing the same thing they're doing all along. Secret government operations.
And then we got Alicia, she's kind of tattooing herself, which, she's on a bit of a downer.
But
Nick, what do you think about Nick? Come on, man.
Woo!
You know about this.
That's Johnny Depp, right?
Johnny Depp, yeah. Well, let's use it.
I really liked the way that this episode ended. It really ratcheted things up, and I was thinking, you know, there's been a little bit of debate that before we came on that Kivian was saying maybe that they thought he was sick, but I think that they're moving anybody out of the city that they think is a threat in any way, and I think that they know he's a drug addict, and that's the reason they're taking him out. That they're taking out any...
I thought maybe that they're moving people out that were medically compromised.
See, that's what I thought.
I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's a rogue operation that wants to maintain control. So anybody that questions their authority or gets people out of line, like the crazy guy,
right?
Yeah,
he doesn't have any
depressed.
bloodborne pathogen abilities. So anybody that questions their, you know,
leadership
authority, boom, they're going to get rid of them because you know
Sounds
they
very
want to
familiar,
maintain
doesn't it?
control.
I think that's great that they're bringing that element into it, and it's an element that we saw a lot in the first Walking Dead series. That there would be, you know, rogue units that would survive for a long time, and I'm thinking this is just your local National Guard post 8137 or something that decided to mobilize. But I would not be surprised at all if we get 2 or 3 episodes in, or maybe even next episode, and we find out they haven't had any communication either.
Well, I think that's right. I think they're working off a predetermined, you know, protocol.
I think they're thinking in their mind they're doing what's good for everybody.
You're right.
But the problem is that they're not. That they really should consult everybody and make a decision, you know, based as a community.
Well, yeah,
but they're not.
Yeah, because Travis is supposedly the mayor, and then they're stepping him, which is, you know, because.
And would this happen in the future? Yes, the military always takes control and makes us do what they tell them to.
There was an element to that in the show.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, about the El Salvador.
Yeah, about
going back to Mr. Salazar.
Yeah, and. Big mistake on the Army. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass that they left him.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah, exactly. that they left him. What's his name again? You just
Salazar.
I'm
sorry if I'm not.
They left him, and that's the guy. Well, that's the guy to watch out for. That's the guy that can really.
So
tip the scales.
I mean, who would be in control, the military or Congress? Well, who has the guns?
Oh, no, we got zombies, we got guns, we got military. This guy is spooky.
I wouldn't be surprised that 9 days in, that Congress, governors, presidents, they're all hiding somewhere.
Well, either that or they're gone.
Yeah, but I bet Air Force One is up flying around, or they're
For 9 days?
Well, yeah, they refill it, you know, or they're in you know, NORAD or some sort of you know, fortified location.
It makes
or
sense.
They're eating each other.
Having lunch. Yeah. But you know, talking about animals and we're talking about blood, there are vampire bats, right, which actually exist. So they could actually attack and move the blood and maybe take it to animals if they've bitten a human. They don't say they bite humans.
Well, mosquitoes.
You know, well, again, mosquitoes is a great example. Yeah.
But we didn't see any animals.
Not yet, no. And
Yeah.
maybe that's you know, to come. Hey, what do you think?
I don't know. You know, there's definitely animals in the Walking Dead series, but it's not as many as there should be.
Right.
At all. It should be overrun with you know, animals going.
Well, and plus rats, don't
yeah,
you?
Rats.
Yeah, you think more rats, right?
Well, with dead bodies all around,
rats. You think it'd be rats
it would go
buzzards
crazy pretty quick. Yeah.
I think it's an airborne virus. It spreads very quickly, and they've quarantined this town, and that the commander thinks he's doing what's best for everybody.
Playing golf.
And keeping everybody there, and he's doing what he thinks.
I think
is
there's
right.
also a power trip though.
Well, totally. You think playing golf? I mean,
and I don't know if it's intended, and I don't know if I saw it right, but it seemed like he wasn't that high of a rank either. Yeah. It seemed like he was either a captain or some sort of lieutenant. I thought I saw just maybe even one bar on his hat.
I think I would be on the military side because all the people around them are pretty much dead. I mean, you could see in the streets they're all dead. And if you stay in that area, then you don't get infected. And so I'm going to pick the side of the military.
Okay, all right. I think he needs to watch the original series. I got some spoilers
I've only
for
watched
you.
one movie, so
I got some spoilers for you.
And I'm not a military person, but you know, I'm going with the military.
Now, Kivan, you wanted to mention too. We had a lot of we've been having a lot of discussion in the comment sections of our videos.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for watching.
Yeah,
and you know, we got a lot of views, so thank you for that. But a couple of people, you know, Ingrid, Cedar, thank you for your comments about El Salvador. That was kind of cool. Patrick Duffy beating on me. Well, that's okay. We love that, right?
Yep.
But, you know, everybody else, we've got Avery Davis, it looks like. We had Mike Matthews. You know, appreciate your comments. Keep them coming because it doesn't matter if they're good or bad. We want to hear them. because we're, you know, that's what we're
all
about, right?
all bad comments can be directed straight at Keith.
They are,
That's
and then
fine.
we'll
Just
pass
keep
them
me out of
to
it.
the
Yeah.
dentist.
I'm
Maybe
used
you
to
can always-
it.
And you know, it's funny because there's, you know, besides the conversations that we've had politically, besides that, there's not a whole heck of a lot really to talk about the episode itself, because this episode was really cerebral. I think it was just about the concept of, I think, power struggle and stuff like that. There wasn't a whole lot of major plot points, I think.
Well, it had to,
discuss.
because you know, we were talking about this last week. You know, the fact that the military were going to come in and kind of do those things, and that would be natural. I don't think, you know, the accelerant's not gone yet. You know, but we see outside and we see these troops killing. She said the people that weren't zombies. So we already know some bad shit's going to get on. Excuse my language, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and then. You know, we had to kind of see who's becoming more dominant. Madison's really gone crazy, we know that. And then we got Salazar. And then really, Travis is just not effective as a mayor.
I think we're going to see an uprising,
I think
a war
so.
between the community and the military.
I think it's going to happen.
And I'm on the military side.
Yeah. Spoilers. No,
That's why he's wearing green.
Yeah.
We're wearing white.
But I do want to. I want to hit one more point before we end up wrapping up or whatever.
Right.
I want to hit one more point on. Do you think? And one at a time, we'll ask. Do you think that there is a hospital that they're taking these people to, or second option, are they taking them outside the city and shooting them?
Well,
What do you think?
the fact they took the nurse practitioner, I think there might be a facility.
Okay.
That's my only reasoning. Otherwise, I would have said no. But if they didn't take her, no, the fact they did take her, I think there is. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think? Do you think they really have a hospital fortified, or are they wanting to just kill these people?
Well, there's definitely an outside military place that's fortified, and they don't have any communication except driving there. And the people that they're not going to take care of any more people. They're going to get rid of them.
Yeah, see, I think, you know, I was totally thinking that they were just driving these people outside of town and shooting them, except when they took the nurse.
Yeah,
so I thought there's something going on there.
Me too.
But I also don't think, I think if they killed the guy doing Morse code, you know what I mean, and they're killing people in the streets, I don't see why they're going to take care of this lady's foot or help Donnie Depp get off drugs.
Johnny Depp is going to escape. Or
Oh yeah,
obviously
he's got a
Well,
couple more
he's the main
seasons.
star, so he's coming back.
He's got he needs to watch more Walking Dead because they are known for killing their stars. But I don't think yet. I agree with you. I think he's got at least 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah, he'll come back.
You know what I think happens in the Walking Dead series? I think that I think everybody treats the producers really nice. If you go to like a Christmas party and you flirt with the producer's wife, you're dead on the next season. You know what I mean? Imagine how the cast must feel. You know, just
talking
knowing.
about power.
I mean, even Rick could go. You know?
Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, because I mean, honestly, you know, you've seen the whole thing through his eyes, but maybe it's somebody else. Well, that's another show.
Yeah. But let's talk one more time. I want everybody to know about the Halloween guys, where we got these costumes from, and we're wearing these. This is medical themed costumes. Obviously, they have costumes of all types.
And what's coming up? Halloween!
Yeah.
Our favorite time, right?
Now, and the cool thing about the Halloween guys is they're around all year long, except for the rest of the year, they're the party guys. And you can go to thepartyguys.net to go to their website, and they have the costumes on there. Also, in the description below is a link to the Halloween guys Facebook page, so it's the Halloween version of it. So like their Facebook page, tell them you saw the costumes here. I like this one the best.
Yeah.
I think Van looks great.
Boy, you look good.
I think you should just wear this out.
I'm going to wear it tonight.
Dr. Frankenstein.
What are you doing later, babe? I got my gloves.
But yeah, they got everything from sexy to scary. You probably won't see a lot of. I don't think we're going to wear any sexy ones. But with each guest that we have on, like today we have on Doctor Hillock. With each guest that we have on throughout the show, we're going to be wearing different themed costumes up until Halloween.
Yeah, last week we kind of intimated we might have an actor on tonight, but unfortunately he wasn't able to come. So we were very lucky to get our great dentist friend here.
I think it was great.
I appreciate it.
I learned a lot, man. I'm telling you.
I think the viewers
out of me.
Well, thanks for having me.
I mean, so basically, I think we've confirmed with a medical professional. The shit's gonna hit the fan at some point.
It's a matter of time, and I think it's very possible that a virus could be airborne and wipe out lots and lots of people, millions of people.
Even with our technology.
Oh, of course, certainly.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
It's happened every 100 years, and another plague will happen.
Wow.
Just like the weather or earthquakes. I mean, it's going to happen. When?
we don't know.
We don't know.
So we're going on, just going off a tangent, because you're a dentist, that was one of the things we were talking about, is making sure, actually having a good cleaning program for your teeth, because of all the problems that you can get through that as well.
Yeah.
So, a shout out to you for that, right?
Well, thank you.
So
I'm Dr. Hillock, and I'm located at 1908 Coffee Road by Memorial Hospital in Modesto.
And everybody from around the world can go to your website. What's your website?
HillockDental.com. And
send some fan mail. Let the staff
Was
know.
it great though? What a guess! What a guess!
It's amazing the knowledge and stuff that you were able to impart. And teeth too, in terms of infection and pathogens and stuff. Teeth are very important, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they are. We use them all the time to smile and to chew our food, and it's kind of like anti-aging. If you're having a good time smiling, you're feeling good, and you can change your life and feel good about yourself. We have implants, we have CAT scans, crowns in a day, and digital CAT scans. We have all sorts of new technology. It's amazing.
It's also preventive, like heart
yes, it's preventive.
Yeah, because if you get a bad infection, can it transfer to
all
brain
over?
Or your
Prevention is the name of the cure. And just like the medical profession needs to go into prevention, we should start cleaning out our arteries at an earlier age instead of waiting. Prevention is the only cure for medicine. So more drugs are not going to help us.
So less drugs, less McDonald's, I'm sure, and more Whole Foods type of things.
More prevention. Come in, 2, 3, 4 times a year for your checkup.
And I do my best because, the doctors say a glass of wine a day, so I do a bottle.
And I'm supporting that too.
Yeah, if a glass helps, I'll do a whole bottle and then I'll be really healthy, right?
And talking about that, what are we going to talk about?
Well, there is an option too of sponsorship, just like the Halloween guys are a sponsor. You can always, we have room for a beverage sponsor as well. And so, you can get in touch. And subscribe to this YouTube channel, Blue Number Media, on YouTube. And you can go to bluenumbermedia.com. You can always get in touch by, first of all, you can leave a comment on this video. Please. Tell us what's going on, what do you think. And like I said, I'll direct all negativity to Kivan. He can handle it. And he's an actor. And you can send an email to bluenumbermedia@gmail.com. And I think, unless there's any more thoughts on the episode, I think we covered most of it.
Well, I think we did a good little job there, and that was great from you. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
All right, you want to do a cheers for me?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Salud!
Salute.